European Union and Britain have had a devastating effect already on various exporters, and especially people who export to the UK. We're currently here at Golden Exotics, where they actually do serious banana exports to the UK markets. So far they have lost in a month 108,000 pounds because the former regime does not exist anymore, and this time they will have to pay taxes on virtually every box. What that means is that the social effect which it could have on the several workers they have here could be devastating, and in the long run some people actually could be losing their jobs.
Here at Golden Exotics, there are about 3,000 workers. I wonder what fate lies ahead for these workers if this agreement is not signed. And I'll be speaking with someone here at Golden Exotics who looks at the social impact of what this whole agreement could cause.
Okay, so I will also be talking to the General Workers Union leader, and of course one woman from here who says that the work she does here, if she loses it, several people in her home could be affected. Don't go away, stick with us. We will definitely be right back.
Coming up, Auntie Patience, who has been in the banana industry for 19 years, shares how meaningless her life would be if Golden Exotics shuts down due to a lack of agreement between Ghana and the UK.
You have heard the negotiations that are supposed to go on between the government of Ghana and the government of Britain in relation to Brexit. How does that affect your work here now that that agreement hasn't been reached?
The government increment, our own here, is different from the government one, because we always complain that our salary is not good, but this year we see some small change, and it's better than the previous days.
Okay, so for these 9 years that you have worked here,
yes,
how has working here benefited you and your family?
Oh, it benefits me a lot.
Tell us.
Yes, because in factory, I enjoy the health insurance. They are giving us the shit. They are cooking us the food here.
Okay.
Maybe the food that we use to buy it ourselves, and we pay some small amount. The management pays a small amount, and then
Fair trade also pays.
exactly. So they take some of the burden from us, and then they have been giving us 20%. Even I'm hearing that in June they will started they will use 30%. In fact, it boosts our salary.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So if you wake up one day and there's no Golden Exotics, what will happen to you and your family?
There is no life.
Wow.
So you can't stay without working. Even God is said, if you don't work, don't eat. So without work, I don't think you become useless. Yes.
Wow.
So we're looking at this.
So have you heard that this the month of January, your company spent so much amount of money to pay taxes to the UK for exporting the bananas? Have you heard?
Yes.
And that plenty money means that the company may not be able to pay the bonuses and all those other things which it had promised you in the past.
Exactly.
How will that also affect you if this continues?
It will not help us because we are working for money.
Yeah.
Even very soon, some of us will be living here, but after 5 years, 4 years, we'll be living here. And we are planning to build our houses before we live here, because you don't build before you go to pension. You will die early. Yeah. Because you cannot stay with your family and with your children. So you have to have a home that after here you get some place to stay. So we are praying that the taxes and the consequences that is worry the management that we cannot do our salary well, we are praying that all those things will pass, that we have our fees and get our target or the aim that we are here, we should get it.
So you're looking at building a house in the next 5 years?
Exactly.
Okay, that's really good. How many children do you have?
I have 7 children.
Are they all in school?
Yes.
Okay.
The last one, Grace Adina, is now finishing NSS. So I'm trying that we should go to nursery school.
Okay.
We are now to buy the food. Yes. Without this work, I cannot take good care of them. Yeah. Even they are paying our school, some of the school fees. They are paying for us. They are buying books for us. They are supporting us.
Fantastic.
Up next, a representative of the Banana Workers Union, Daniel Kujo, explains their work ethics and demands of importers.
What we produce here, there are specifications and brands.
Okay.
So what you demand, that is what we give. Actually, for our customer, we have defects, and this is the best way.
To inspect it.
Yes. This is the best way also to have the banana conveyed to the packers for processing.
So would you call this a defect?
Yes, it's a defect. It's a defect.
That's interesting. They look green, so when will they ripe?
Our customer doesn't like ripe banana, so we keep it green till it gets to the customer.
Then they will make it ripe?
Yes, whatever they want. You see, what we produce here, there are specifications. And brands.
Okay.
So what you demand, that is what we give. Yeah, so our customers don't like ripe banana, so we don't give them. So we actually make sure there's no ripe banana in the fruit.
Okay. Among your workers, how many of them are women?
Women, let me say, I can't really give, but it will be around 30%.
30% of your workers are women.
Yeah.
Coming up, Abnan Ponstan Ewa, who is responsible for certification at Golden Exotics, tells Emma about some social projects being undertaken. Quite a beautiful plantation you have over here.
Thank you.
How long have you been working with Golden Exotics?
Okay, so I've been working with Golden Exotic since September 2009. So this year, September, will be my 12th year working here for Golden Exotics Limited.
Wow. And how would you say business has been for Golden Exotics?
It's been quite good, especially even for the people living around. The fact that this plantation is able to provide as many jobs for us 3,000 people.
What would you say will be the impact on your workers or the company as a whole should Ghana and UK not come to an agreement?
Okay, so for me, with regarding what I have heard so far, it's that the UK and the Ghana government not able to reach a deal, to sign a trade deal, would actually impact so much, has a lot of impact on the company and for the workers as well. If this situation continues, it will not be sustainable for the company to be able to operate under those conditions, and then it's also not sustainable for our customers as well, as they may decide to source from elsewhere or from countries that have already have some agreements with the UK, such as the Cameroon and then Cote d'Ivoire, who are also producing bananas. For us, the company, it's likely the company might reduce production or totally shut down, and this will go a long way to affect the ordinary worker. Currently, the company employs about 3,000 workers, in the rural communities that are around, and these are communities where jobs are scarce. Also, jobs are difficult to come by. So, not having such a company here to be in existence for a long time, even for their children's children to come and benefit from it, would be severe.
Before coming to the social projects, tell us some of the benefits you gain as a fair trade product.
Okay, so for our workers, being certified fair trade and being able to export our produce as fair trade affords us some premium that is earned over what is sold. So these monies are collected. There is a management and worker committee that manages this money for the workers. So for socio-economic structures, you know, for the workers, for the communities, and for the worker and his or her family. So these are the three people that benefit from these social projects. For us, since 2014, since we became certified fair trade, some of the projects have been to provide lunch for workers when they come here. Some of them, the workers are living far away, 80 meters radius, you know, from the company, and the time they need to get to work, it's they need to be at work very early, so it doesn't afford them the time to be able to prepare something, you know, to come along with. So that affords them the opportunity to be able to have a lunch, you know, at work. Okay. And this is between management, the worker himself, and then the fair trade premium. Another project is providing some subsidy towards their children's education, or their spouse education, or for they themselves. Okay, so an amount of 3,000 is given to workers who are in tertiary, because obviously primary and secondary education are free. It used to start from secondary to the tertiary, but now since secondary is free, we continued with the workers themselves, or workers' children, or workers' spouse that are in the tertiary education. And then we provide educational materials, irrespective of the fact that secondary school and primary school is free in Ghana. We provide these workers with educational materials, such as reading materials, calculators, dictionary, maths, pencils, books, you know, to be able to aid their study in school. Another project we embark on is the busing of our workers. So I don't know if you observed,
but there are some buses
that are labeled fair trade. So we want to continue to be able to continue with these projects. So aside receiving premium, we try to invest some of the premium into other projects that will bring us back some monies. And so the bus project is one of them. So the company hires it from us at a rate, and they do well to pay.
So are these all the social projects you're engaging in?
For the workers. So these are for the workers. Okay. Now we have also had projects for the community. So I was telling you the benefits, the beneficiaries of this fair trade premium are the worker, his family, and the community surrounding there. So for the communities, we've had to build a science laboratory for the secondary school, Osudoku, senior, high, and technical. So we had to build a science laboratory for them. So there's a school that is in Atrobinya, which was not in a very good state. So we've had to build a KG for them, as well as primary from class 1 to 6. So we've had to put that school up for them. We've also built some bungalows for nurses and teachers, because this rural it's the most difficult thing being posted here as someone who's teaching or as a nurse is accommodation. So since we want them to be able to come to the communities and to help them improve upon their lives by providing them with some education, or in the health sector, we decided to put up some bungalows to accommodate these teachers that are posted here. We've also provided potable drinking water for the inhabitants of Kasunya, Napienya, and Gozakope. And we intend to extend it to another three communities around.
We're currently currently going to be speaking to the operators of this farm to find out exactly how their business is being affected by this additional tariff they will have to pay with the British government. So this farm will be giving us the details and the social impact on the over 600 workers right here. Well, in the next week, if the engine of the discussion or the agreement between Ghana and Britain are not quickly facilitated and it goes off, the lives of over 5,000 workers from these big banana plantations will actually be affected. How is this whole Brexit with, the UK and of course Ghana going into a new arrangement which hasn't happened, how's it affecting your company?
Our company depends so much on the UK market. Close to 90% of our production is sold on the UK market. This has happened over a long time of building trade relations with supermarkets like the Co-op and the Waitrose. So it means that contrary to assurances we received that by the end of the year this deal will be true, we are faced with a situation where tariffs have to be paid, and our importers, for that matter, are not very happy with the situation because the tariffs are not that cheap. It's about 25% of the FOB price of the product. So there is no way we can remain in business if this will continue beyond 1 month, maximum 2 months.
You have already done 1 month.
Yeah.
How much have you paid so far?
We are paying something in the region of about £17,000 a week.
Wow.
In Ghana cedis, we are looking at about 140,000 Ghana cedis a week. So you can do the calculation.
Yes,
but
yes.
that is what it is.
Yeah. So how is this affecting the value chain? So it's not just your importers, but your workers, your systems right here in Ghana. You have given yourselves just about 2 months beyond which you cannot go. How is this going to affect the value chain?
One, it becomes very difficult to talk about salaries for our workers. Coincidentally, this happened at the time that we were discussing the possibility of applying a living wage for our farm workers, which is part of the arrangement we have under fair trade. We have to stall all these discussions basically because of this, because the future seems uncertain. What
will that, if you could just give me a sneak peek into that discussion, what were the ordinary farmers going to get, for example, for which that has stalled?
By the standard or the requirement of fair trade, a farmer is supposed to get, within the context of a rural area Ghana, about 1,000 Ghana cedis in a month.
That's good salary.
Of course, fair trade realizing that you cannot compel an employer right from the beginning to jump maybe from 600 Ghana cedis to 1,000 Ghana cedis a month, allowed for some part of their premium, which is earned also on the product, to be used to bridge the gap between what the company can afford and what is left. So that discussion has concluded, and more or less our workers are getting part of their premium in support of the living wage. As from the 1st of July 2021, all certified companies, that is in Ghana, it is Golden Exotics and then our company, are expected to pay a minimum of about 700 Ghana cedis. That is the minimum paid worker from the company side. On top of that, then the premium would support to be able to either reach or at least get close to the 1,000 cedis per month paid to our workers.
So the company side is what will be affected now if this doesn't end.
Yes, because we wouldn't know what the future holds for us.
Exactly.
And we cannot be able
you
to
can't
sell
eat
the
into
product,
your profits. Yes.
which at the end of the day brings the money.
Yeah. Tell me the sort of engagements that have gone on so far from the Ghana government side, which of course will involve your company together with other big exporters. What is government telling you?
Discussions were very positive before the end of the year, and I'm sure that you heard about the Minister of Trade announcing that the deal was true.
Yeah.
That is true to a larger extent.
Yeah.
But however, to the best of our knowledge, what was left out or what was left to be done was the proper putting that text into writing and ensuring that it was signed by both parties, which the British said at the time that, once it is not signed, then it is not applicable under the system. So right from the beginning of January, we have been paying these tariffs.
What are you hearing? Is there an end in sight?
It looks like, from what we are hearing, the government is taking quite some action in terms of finalizing that document, because apart from sitting on the table to agree, you need to put that text in writing.
Yeah.
The lawyers have to review. It has to go back to the two parties to see if everything is captured and all that.
But Cameroon has signed, Ivory Coast has signed, so that we seem to be getting too slow, isn't it?
They did so even before the expiry of the transition time.
Yeah.
So which means that they wouldn't have to go through the problem that Ghana is going through.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Ghana didn't sign. That is the bottom line.
Yeah.
And as to why Ghana didn't start, of course, I've not been part of the negotiation.
Of course.
It could be a more political thing. It could be certain things that probably would be to the benefit of the country. That I don't know.
Yeah.
But for us as exporters, not only for the banana industry, but also for related sectors like tuna, like the fresh cut produce and then all that, we are being heavily affected.
Yeah.
Banana is so much affected because of the nature of the crop. You have perishable, weekly harvest, weekly export. You cannot preserve it beyond the 1 week. And at the other side of the market too, the demand is on a weekly basis.
Yes.
So if you are out for 2 weeks, then it is over with you, because then they will source it from other sources.
How desperate are you to see some action being taken?
Action should have been taken before the end of the year. That is our position. However, we are faced with this challenge whereby till now it is not signed. We have gone so much into our reserves that we cannot continue beyond 2 weeks. The other side of it is that if you find yourself in this situation, even potential creditors are not willing to help you because they may not see the end in sight, for which reason they will see it as a risky business to put in their money into such a venture. So we find ourselves in a very difficult situation.
If nothing is done in 2 weeks, it means some workers have to go home.
Some workers have to go. We have to start discussions with our trade union, the workers' trade union, to see how we can possibly be able to get around this. But we are a fair trade certified company, so we are not going to take unilateral decisions of laying off workers and all that. We will engage parties to ensure that we arrive at a solution that will be helpful to all, especially our workers. We are so much concerned about our workers and their well-being, their livelihoods. So at the end of the day, even if something will happen in terms of putting people back home and all that, we definitely would want to engage.
We're currently at Golden Exotics to find out from the management of the company in the head office how this tariff regime is actually affecting their bottom line, how much they have exported vis-a-vis the tariffs that have been slapped, and how much that turns into eroding their revenues, and what the full impact is or will be on their businesses as it stands. This is Food Chain. Don't go away. My name is Odile Ntiama. Let's get into the details. Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, so far, how much have you exported as a business in terms of bananas for the month, and what has that translated into in terms of revenue losses?
So I can't be very specific on the exact numbers because it's on a continuing basis, but what we have done so far is that we have done 5 separate deliveries, and towards the end of the year, because of the uncertainties, we actually had to reduce the numbers to be on the safe side. Now we have kept them low over this period, but what has happened is that we have, over those 5 deliveries, our buyer has paid tariff to the region of 100,000 euros.
And what does that translate into consequences for you as a business?
So this translates to about $2 per box of bananas that is exported to the UK. Mind you that earlier on, until the end of last year, were operating duty-free, into the UK market as part of the EU 28. So this is a totally new situation for us.
The question is, how is this affecting your business?
So this obviously is not sustainable. Our buyer is getting extremely concerned that if this problem is not resolved very quickly, from next week he intends to divert a large portion of our supply to another country who already have been able to secure an agreement with the UK. So that would mean that we'll lose a substantial part of our business.
In percentage term, that's about?
From what he is saying, so far he's only threatening to take 30%, but that can quickly translate into larger volumes. And about 50% of our total production goes to the UK. So that's a significant part of our business. The problem is that if they become comfortable with this new source, chances are that they may not
come back,
even when the situation is resolved. So that's our real concern.
What have you been told so far? I mean, since you're big exporters, government, either from both sides, should be giving you some assurances. At first it's going to be resolved in a number of weeks, and then now it's been over a month.
Yes. Now we are in touch with government, and we have been given assurance that they are on a fast track to resolving this issue. We have also seen from the UK side, the publications, that there is a lot of pressure to have this matter resolved as quickly as possible, because the customers over there are especially concerned about this situation, because all our products are fair trade bananas, and the fair trade clients are quite vocal. So the situation is that we expect this matter to be resolved as quickly as possible, but every day that it is not resolved means that we pay tariffs, and then our situation becomes worse. So we are very confident that something is being done, and it should be done very quickly, but we hope that it is done.
What will be the breaking point for you as a business?
Oh, we don't think this can be a matter of weeks again. It can only be days, because from next week, if our customer moves the supply to another source, that's already a major problem for us. For how long that will continue, it will mean that we will have the production because it's already planned, but we'll not have a market for it. And this is not a business you can quickly divert to another country.
100,000 euros is so far how much has been paid?
In tariff.
Tariff, yes. How does that translate into the impact on your over 3,000 workers?
Yeah, so what that means is that is the buyer who is paying that now, but in business, it will be passed on one way or the other. So that is number one. Number two, the volumes that we ship is not what we are doing now, and they are trying to even reduce it further, So in two ways. First, we'll lose revenue because we are not doing the volumes we are doing, and because we are fair trade, the premium which we get, which goes into social projects for our workers, will also be lost. And it will also mean that all our expansion programs that we have planned for 2021 and beyond will have to be stopped.
At what rate have we reduced the volumes?
For now, not much has done, and not much has been done. Normally, what we'll ship to the UK, we have reduced them by about 20%, watching the situation, But as soon as it's resolved, we can quickly come back to that, So we don't think permanent damage has been done apart from the financial loss. But if it goes beyond here, then that becomes a major concern.
Indeed, Food Chain gets results. After showing snippets of the program, the government, through the Ministry of Trade and Industry, released a statement announcing a new interim Ghana-UK trade partnership agreement. However, the statement was not specific about when the agreement would commence. We will keep you updated.